Hello, San Francisco, and welcome once again to the Angelic Troublemakers. I'm your host, Alan Jones, and on today's program, San Francisco City Hall hate crimes against blacks. I'm bringing this program to you um, based on certain developments this week involving my ballot measure. Yes, on Proposition I. My ballot measure is an indictment against San Francisco City Hall's treatment of the black community in San Francisco and the black community in Oakland. But I would like to bring in a little bit of history. And the history happens to be a website of mine that we will try and find here. And if you notice, this website is my keeping track of San Francisco racism. And if you notice under the top heading, it might be too small to read. It talks about I claim to be San Francisco's racism documented by self-proclaimed racism sniffing dog. That's me. And if you notice that I'm going to click on something that I think is very appropriate here. Way back in 2009, we had an attorney general under then President Barack Obama who got into a little bit of trouble. And this article was from CNN, and it documented where, if you, it might be too small to read, Holder, nation of cowards, remarked, blasted, and praised. Well, I'm one of those who praised it. But if you read the article, you'll discover that the then Attorney General, who I'm quite frankly not a fan of, he made a statement. And this statement was that Americans are a bunch of cowards when it comes to speaking on race. And for him to make this issue, I'm telling you, he hit the nail on the head. I have been talking about this for quite some time, but more particularly in San Francisco. If I say that San Francisco City Hall needs an official mirror, it's probably because I'm sick and tired of San Francisco pointing the finger at everybody else and their sins, meaning other cities and states, but not looking at their own selves. That's why I put this together. And what it is under here, under my San Francisco 49er Fan Revolt website, it's a declaration or a resolution that I wrote. And it was basically saying, San Francisco, look in the mirror. Now, this is going to bring me, of course, to my ballot measure. Keep an eye on Proposition I. Why? Because in looking at it, you'll notice that I have a news and updates section. And if you go on to goodneighborcoalition.org and you see this news and updates, if you click it on, the title of the article, which I wrote, under news and updates, a metaphorical San Francisco City Hall hate crime against Oakland, California. That's what my ballot measure is. And I'm saying so based on what happened in the photo here. It's a Democratic, let me say, the top Democrats of San Francisco voted unanimously, 30 votes, to not support my ballot measure. But there's something suspicious about it. I'm going to click on to the vote tally. Now, this vote tally, if you follow it closely, you'll find out there's some very impressive names on here, all San Franciscans. They did this in order. In the one, let me see here if I can find it. What this is they had a vote on all of the propositions, and my proposition I is last because that's how it came up when the selection went down. But if you notice the 30 votes here, now I don't know who this Alexander is, but Angela Alioto is on there, Breed, London Breed, David Campos, Malia Cohen, Dufty, forget his first name. All of these San Francisco top Democrats. Aaron Peskin. Look at this name down here. Dianne Feinstein, Nancy Pelosi, all voted. Jackie Spear, Fiona Ma, Scott Wiener, Phil Ting, and David Chu. These are all top San Francisco politicians, Democrats. They're from the San Francisco Democratic Central, County Central Committee. All of them voted not to support my ballot measure. If you look in the final slot there, it says 30 in yellow, 30 no votes. Now, I'm suspicious because of the fact that there is no way that I can be convinced that all 30 of these Democrats support the Golden State Warriors walking out on an Oakland debt of $40 million. But that's what they did. Why? Because in my ballot measure, you will notice that, hey, that's what it's about. It is about San Francisco not taking from its neighbor, but giving its neighbor, helping. And one thing that irks me is the fact that even the evils of the Warriors making all the money that they did over in Oakland and now wanting to jump to San Francisco to make more, they have the audacity to try and skip out on a $40 million bill. And if you go to my website, Good Neighbor Coalition, you'll read the story under the news and updates. But in the ballot measure, we put together, me and my team, put together something that says that San Francisco will take a stand against any professional sports team that tries to walk out on a public debt that it owes when it decides to leave a city for whatever reason. Now, it's unfortunate that teams relocate. Sometimes they do so because hey, they're not getting support in the local area. Case in point, in 1971, when the Warriors decided they had enough of San Francisco, it wasn't because they didn't love San Francisco, it's because San Francisco didn't love them. They left because San Francisco in 1971 decided, no, we're not going to build you an arena. And so they ended up in Oakland. And so Oakland has supported them faithfully, and I mean really faithfully. I remember there were times where the Warriors had 17 wins in a season, 18,000 in the seats. And so this type of support for the team, their team, sure, some San Franciscans, I'm a longtime San Franciscan. I've gone over to see many Warrior games in Oakland. Quite frankly, I love it. My brother took his lady and somebody over there once, and they even got their car broken into when it was, all the stuff was in the trunk. Did it stop him from going over there? No. The fact of the matter is even fans who have bad experiences supported the Warriors in Oakland. Now, I'm saying that for all that San Francisco did to push the Warriors out of San Francisco, I think that it's rather hypocritical that they're claiming, bring them back home. And so this ballot measure is basically shame on you, San Francisco City Hall, for acting in such a disrespectful way to our neighbors. And so by me calling this a hate crime against blacks, it's a hate crime against the black community, metaphorically speaking. Not only the black community of Oakland, but also of San Francisco. Let me tell you a story. The San Francisco 49ers, when they were playing in Candlestick Park, they were right across the street. Right across the street was the worst or most blighted area of San Francisco, Double Rock. And the owner, Denise York, she was tired of being next door to the worst part of the city. So she whined and cried, and that other word with a B, her way out of San Francisco. Well, okay, I get that. I believe any team should be able to go wherever they can make the most money. But it's how you go is my problem. So they take a $1.3 billion project out of a black community. They move it south to Santa Clara. Do you know those 49ers owners had the audacity to play let's make a deal with San Francisco City Hall over the last year of their rent obligation? The last year of their lease was a $5 million lease. And San Francisco City Hall, for whatever reason, gave them a break on it. They paid an upfront fee, the 49ers did, of $1 million to get out. Now, if you're going to take a $1.3 billion project out of the city, that's one thing. But then, why is San Francisco cutting a deal to give you a break on a $5 million rent for $1 million to get you out of it? They sold out the black community of San Francisco. And since they sold out the black community of San Francisco, you think I, sports fan, knowing this, am going to just turn my head and say, oh, well, I just love the 49ers and I love the Warriors so much. I'm going to overlook that stuff. Business is business. No, you're not going to San Francisco City Hall. You're not going to sell out the black community and then steal from the black community of Oakland and then call it a day or call it even without me saying something. That's not the right thing to do. And if you read my 500-word ballot measure closely, that's exactly what I'm taking a stand against. Proposition I is basically saying that we San Franciscans don't act that way. We believe that a world-class city helps its neighbors. It does not help ourselves who our neighbors' jewels. And I'm saying that in June, when we all get the opportunity to vote, I believe San Francisco is going to rise up and say to the rest of the world, yeah, that's right. This is not the spirit of San Francisco. San Francisco's history is of accepting anybody. Well, some of the people I really wish go back home. I know that's a sad thing to say. I myself love the fact that San Francisco is so open that we don't care what you look like, what you did, as long as it's legal. You know, come on in. We don't care about your sexual preference. Come on in. You know, we don't care about your looks. Come on in. I'm clear evidence of that, even though I was raised here. But the fact that we are so accepting, I say, wait a minute. I am not going to accept being a part of this greed, this covetous greed that San Francisco is displaying by having less than honorable politicians make deals to make it easier for the Warriors to come here. I'm saying it's not going to happen. I've seen the arena. The arena is coming along. Yeah, I think it's close to half, more than half done. If you look out there, there's a whole bunch of steel up in place. And I'm saying that because of the racism perpetrated by San Francisco City Hall, once the word gets out, because voters are going to say, let's relook at this. What is this Alan Jones and the Good Neighbor Coalition really saying? And once people see that we are serious enough to put forth a ballot measure that says this is not the spirit of San Francisco, I think others are going to look at it. Now, I hate to bring in the fact that we have the late Mayor Ed Lee in the picture here. I'm not a Ed Lee hater. I just don't particularly appreciate what he has done. But when you look at this picture of Ed Lee celebrating at the last Warriors championship last year, he's in a motorcade, a parade, and he's waving in Oakland. And I'm saying that this cannot be. How is it that everybody knows that he was behind taking the Warriors from Oakland, and yet the audacity to smile and wave to the fans in Oakland. How much respect is that for your neighbor? Well, that reflects on me as a San Franciscan. I might as well have been on that backseat of that car, waving to the fans, and every one of the 880,000 San Franciscans, any one of us could have been that person because we are San Francisco and he was the leader of San Francisco at the time. But it was wrong. This is not the spirit of San Francisco. Ed Lee said that he was in tears, or almost in tears, when the 49ers left. Well, if that's true, why then are you going to go around and take something from your neighbor? Do the same thing. That's not right. That's not the spirit of San Francisco. And because it's not the spirit of San Francisco, I'm taking a stand. Because I claim that I know more about San Francisco and what type of people we are than City Hall. Now, I'm going to slightly get off topic here, but it's just to explain who's in City Hall. Many years ago, I had a conversation, email exchange, with Supervisor Jane Kim. She's one of the candidates running for mayor. The reason why she had no chance from the jump of getting my support is she said to me, and I quote, "I never saw keeping the 49ers here as a priority." Well, the woman was born in New York. I don't know where she was raised. And though she did come out here, and she did pretty good far as being a community person and helping people, you were talking to a lifelong 49er fan who was raised here. How dare you tell me I didn't see it as a priority to keep the 49ers here? You don't say that to 49er fans who love going to Candlestick Park, headquarters to 5 Super Bowl wins, 6 Super Bowl appearances. It's not right. What we did is we got a bunch of, I'll say, carpetbaggers on the Board of Supervisors who have no real history of San Francisco at the time. And though things may have changed a little bit, there were so many of them, they didn't care. And might I also add, a lot of them aren't even sports fans. They couldn't tell the difference between a football and a basketball. I'm saying that these people who have no real history of this area are making decisions that are, I mean, I'm all for change, but for you to discount or disregard some of the more loyal parts of San Franciscans, which is their dedication to a football team, and you say, it wasn't a priority to keep them here. I mean, she had nothing to do with the 49ers actual leaving the city. She came afterwards. But she did have a vote in the giving of the break on the lease after they broke ground in Santa Clara. And so what I'm saying here is if the 49ers want to leave, fine, leave. Pay your bill and leave. What did they do? They cut a deal. Just give us $1 million. And the 49ers left. Now, San Francisco Democrats are saying to Oakland, We don't care that they owe Oakland $40 million. They're coming over here. We're going to make gobs of money. And you get 30 Democrats, top Democrats, to say, we recommend a no vote on Proposition I. No, that what they're doing is they're covering up. Because if you really looked at the whole situation, you'll realize that if Proposition I passes, it puts City Hall on the spot. Because if you read the document, it's basically saying, San Francisco, I don't like what you did. You are not representing the people of San Francisco with how you're handling this Warrior Arena grab. And I'm saying that the people of San Francisco will rise up. But top Democrats are trying to do a cover-up. And the only thing that they can do is recommend a no vote. Do you really think Dianne Feinstein, U.S. Senator, and Nancy Pelosi, U.S. House of Representatives, Minority Leader, really read Proposition I before casting a no vote? No, they did so by proxy. And what that probably went down to was they weren't at this meeting. They said, all right, well, I'll go along with the party. Well, you can't go along with the party when the party is saying it's okay to scam or to skip out on a $40 million bill if you are the person who's being the recipient. No, that's not the way San Francisco rolls. Now, I don't have a good credit rating, but I can guarantee you one thing. If I had billions of dollars and I owed a city $40 million, I'm not going to get an attitude and say, for technical reasons, I don't have to pay you. If I made so much money in your city and then I'm going to leave, I'm going to at least pay my bill. And I'm saying that San Francisco is trying to be a party, meaning City Hall, is trying to be a party to some real dirty stuff. And who is it against? It's against black people. It was against black people when they sold out Bayview Hunters Point, and it's against black people when they orchestrated this move from Oakland to San Francisco with the Warriors. And I'm saying, no, that's not the way we roll here. And I'm looking forward to the June 5th election. I got my issues in hand, and I think there's only one ballot measure I'm voting yes on. And I think that you look at the whole picture and you'll find out that San Francisco is in a pretty good position to a gut punch to racism if we just stand up and say, no, this is not how you treat black people. And if San Francisco stands up and says, no, this is not how you treat black people, it will, as my document says, it will even wake up professional sports teams. Because what they're doing is shameful. And right now they are showing no shame. Why? Because nobody's calling them on it. Well, Alan is. Alan Jones and the Good Neighbor Coalition of calling these people on their dirty deed. And might I add, I'm doing this as a fan. I love professional sports. But I can't watch, I have not seen a game since the 49ers left. Why? I can't be rooting for a team when the shenanigans that they did. Until next time.